So we are going to try and find an equation for the line that is tangent to this function when x equals -2. So remember, a tangent line is a line that just touches it, just touches the function. So if this was our function, this is an x value of -2. This would be our tangent line right here, and this is what we're trying to find an equation for. And one thing I wanted to remind you, when you write an equation, like an equation of a line, if you want to write it in point-slope form, it's y minus the y part of the point equals the slope times x minus the x part of the point. Which means if I solve this for y, it could be y is equal to the slope times x minus the x part of the point, plus add that y sub 1 to both sides, the y part of the point. So notice that this right here is my equation just for a standard line if I know a point that it goes through and the slope, and it's solved for y. And if I bring back that picture, this is the point. Notice this is the point, some x value. In this case, it's going to be -2. The y is f at that point. And then the slope of this line would be the derivative of the function at that x value, right? That's the m value. So I could rewrite this as y equals the slope, which is the derivative at my x value, times x minus my x value, plus my y value, which is my x value plugged into the function, right? F of x. It is y. So let's go ahead and do that then for this function. So I know that x, this is my x sub 1, is -2. Let's see, f of x, that's my y value, right? That's f of x sub 1. Well, if I plug in -2 into here, -2 squared plus 1 is 5. And now I'm going to need to know the derivative, right? So this part right here is the x sub 1. The 5 is f of x sub 1, right? That's the point. That's the coordinates of this point. And then I just need the slope. So I'm going to take the derivative, f prime. In this case, pretty straightforward, 2x. So the slope of the line when x is -2 is -4. So that means then that the equation of my line is y equals the slope times x minus the x value of the point. So plus 2. Whoa, what are you doing? Plus 2 plus the y value at that point, 5. I know what's going on. There we go. That's better. And then there, right there, that right there is my equation. There we go. So in any case, this is how I can write the equation for the tangent line, because y equals the slope times x minus the x part plus the y part of the point. So the trick is just finding that derivative. I guess it's not a trick. The technique is find that derivative and get those values in and write an equation of a line that goes through that point with that slope.